How are you guys doing? It is Tuesday, November 10th, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through yesterday's Monday Night Football game, and of course, I'll let you know what's going on this week, as this is a very short episode. Really quickly getting into it, to finish off week 9 of the 2020 NFL season, the New England Patriots were able to beat the New York Jets 30-27 in a game that went all the way down to the end, where the Patriots came back from being down 27-17 at the end of the third, as Cam Newton was able to lead the Patriots to 3 separate drives, two of which being a field goal, one of which being the field goal that ends the game by Nick Folk, who is a former New York Jet. It was a pretty wild game, and just kind of getting into it. For the New York Jets, their quarterback Joe Flacco would complete 18 of his 25 passes, throwing for 262 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Their future Hall of Fame running back Frank Gore would run for 46 yards on 12 carries on the ground. He'd also had 13 yards through the air on 2 receptions to give him 59 total yards on the game. Their leading receiver was Brashad Perriman, who finished with 101 yards and 5 receptions, and he had 2 touchdowns on the day. On the defensive side of the ball, Bless Austin led the team with 12 total tackles on the day. Terrell Basham had 2.5 tackles for a loss, as well as the team logged 0 sacks on the day. For the New England Patriots, their elite quarterback Cam Newton will complete 27 of his 35 passes for 274 yards. He also added 16 yards on 10 carries on the ground. Both of his touchdowns on the day came on the ground. That'll give him 290 total yards of offense with no turnovers. Looking at the running game as well, Damian Harris led the game in rushing yards. He had 71 yards on 14 carries. Rex Burkhead had 56 yards on 12 carries and a touchdown. Looking at how they did in the passing game, Jacoby Myers was the leading receiver for the Patriots. He had 169 yards on 12 receptions, as he had an amazing game as well. On the defensive side of the ball, Adrian Phillips had 8 tackles, leading the entire team. Dietrich Wise Jr. ended up getting a sack, the only sack and tackle for loss on the day for the New England Patriots. But with this win, the Patriots are now 3-5, as the Jets still, through 9 games, have yet to win a football game. They dropped to 0-9. They are 0-5 at home. And looking at the New England Patriots, they're 3.5 games behind the Patriots, who are now sitting in 3rd place in the AFC East. And with week 9 of the 2020 NFL season finished, as some of the teams have played 8 and some of the teams have played 9, I think this is the midway point of the NFL season. And with that said, jumping into what the standings look like in the NFL before I finish the episode, starting off in the NFC. In the West, the Seattle Seahawks have the best record in the NFC West with a 6-2 record. In second place, you have the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 5-3. The Rams are tied with them, sitting at 5-3 as well. They're sitting in third. And the San Francisco 49ers, the reigning NFC champions, are sitting in last in the NFC West with a 4-5 record. Jumping to the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints, led by their go-to quarterback Drew Brees, now hold the best record in that division. In second place are Tom Brady and the 6-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, following their loss to the Saints on Sunday night. In third place, you have the Atlanta Falcons sitting at 3-6, 3 whole games behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And sitting in fourth with the same record as the Falcons, you have the Carolina Panthers, but the Falcons beat the Panthers head-to-head, so the Falcons now have the 3rd best record in the NFC South. In the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers, led by their go-to quarterback Aaron Rodgers, are sitting at 6-2 with the best record in the NFC North. In second place, you have the 5-4 Chicago Bears, who recently just lost this week. In third, you have the Minnesota Vikings at 3-5, and in fourth, you have the 3-5 Detroit Lions. In the NFC East, you see the Philadelphia Eagles currently lead that division with a 3-4-1 record. They're only tied coming against the Cincinnati Bengals in week 2. In second place, you have the 2-6 Washington football team. In third, you have the Cowboys at 2-7. And fourth is the New York Giants at 2-7 as well. But I think the Cowboys have the advantage over them as of right now. Jumping right now into the AFC. Starting in the AFC West, the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, are now sitting at 8-1 with the best record in their division, the 2nd best record in the AFC. In second, you have the 5-3 Las Vegas Raiders, who are sitting right there in their division. In third in the AFC West, you have the 3-5 Denver Broncos. And in last, you have the 2-6 Los Angeles Chargers, led by their rookie quarterback Justin Herbert, who very well might win the Rookie of the Year. In the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans currently lead that division with a 6-2 record. The Colts are sitting in second with a 5-3 record. The Houston Texans, are sitting in third with 2-6, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are sitting at the bottom of the AFC South with a 1-7 record, the second worst record in the entire AFC. In the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers still have the only undefeated record in the NFL this year. They are 8-0. In second place, the Baltimore Ravens are 6-2. Behind them, you'll have the 5-3 Cleveland Browns, and sitting in last in the AFC North are the 2-5-1 Cincinnati Bengals. Last but not least, the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills currently lead the division that was terrorized by Tom Brady and the New England Patriots for the last 20 years. In second place, the Miami Dolphins, led by their new rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, are now 5-3, 2-0 since he's been the starter. And sitting in third are the New England Patriots, who recently just beat the New York Jets at 3-5. And sitting at the bottom of the AFC East with the worst record in the NFL, the 0-9 New York Jets. With that said, those are what the division standings look like. Looking at what the playoff picture looks like so far, in the AFC, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are the only undefeated team, they are sitting at the number 1 spot if the playoffs were to start today. And second place are the Kansas City Chiefs, who are winning the AFC West with an 8-1 record. The Bills would be third, winning the AFC East with a 7-2 record, and the Tennessee Titans would be fourth with a 6-2 record. The first wild card spot will go to the Baltimore Ravens, sitting at 6-2, and the second wild card spot will go to the Las Vegas Raiders, who win the tiebreaker over the Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns as of right now, because of their conference game win percentage so far. Looking at the NFC, the 6 teams I'll be in, you have the Saints sitting at the number 1 spot, as they hold the tiebreaker over Seattle and Green Bay, who are both 6-2. Seattle's sitting at number 2. With 6-2 as well. Green Bay number 3 because they're winning the NFC North. The 4th spot right now goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 3-4-1, leading their division. The 5th spot, the first wildcard spot, as of right now, will go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are sitting with a 6-3 record. And the 6th spot, as of right now, is being held by the Arizona Cardinals, who have the division tiebreaker over the Los Angeles Rams, who have the same record as the Cardinals, but are the first team out of the wild card. Right now, that is what the NFL is looking like on Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. I'm James Sims. I want to appreciate you once again for listening to all 7 minutes of my piece. I hope all is well, and I will see you on Friday, November 13th, following the Week 10 Thursday matchup between the 5-3 Indianapolis Colts and the 6-2 Tennessee Titans. But with that said, I hope all is well, and peace out.